Cheers, Baz. Now, there were so many new diet trends taking off in 2018, from intermittent fasting to keto. There was a massive body of science to get our heads around. So to understand how they really work, well, it's a new year and the best diets have been revealed by long-running media company US News and World Report. Guess what? Neither the trendy keto nor paleo made this year's cut. In fact, one of the oldest in the world has taken top spot. And joining us with more is clinical nutritionist Sarah De Lorenzo. Sarah,
hi,
hello. Now,
hi.
we haven't let Basil be part of this segment because we think he'd be too unbearable. The Greeks have had it right.
The Greeks have
all
had
along.
it right. Yeah, absolutely. And I have to say, being Greek, I'm very proud of this diet.
Come on, Baz. Come in.
Hello.
Come in to gloat.
We knew this.
We knew this. We absolutely knew this. But the interesting thing about the criteria for the diet for 2019 is it's all about things like, everything about these diets is all about prevention of heart disease, prevention of diabetes and weight loss as well. So the criteria was nutritional value, simplicity, safety and effectiveness as it relates to those key points. But the other interesting thing is, when you think about what's happening in Australia now, 63% of Aussies are overweight, 22% have heart disease and 6% have diabetes. So these very predominantly plant-based diets make perfect sense. So the Greeks, they absolutely had it right.
Ahead of the game. So olive oil, a lot of fish, obviously. And,
absolutely,
and fresh fruit and veggies.
It is, but the criteria for this, I mean, these are all very much lifestyle diets. So when we look at these diets, red wine once a day, fish, white proteins like the fish and the chicken twice a week. Red meat is once a month, but it's predominantly a plant-based diet. So olive oil is the only choice of fat instead of butter, so that's what you're using for everything.
Okay. No avocado there?
Avocado, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So, yeah, there wasn't enough room.
One down there. Okay,
there's just
now
not
the
enough
DASH
room.
and the Flexitarian diets, I saw were ranked second and third. I've never even heard of those diets.
So the DASH diet, so herein again, it's all about hypertension. So dietary approaches to stop hypertension. So everything about the DASH diet is absolutely geared to low fat. So we're using, of course, vegetable oils, but we're using things like low-fat yogurt, low-fat milk, and only white proteins. Everything is done with herbs and spices. You're only allowed a teaspoon of salt a day. So it's all about reducing blood pressure.
Where did that name come from?
DASH. It's a government organised diet, but
right.
Diet. It's actually just an abbreviation of dietary approaches to stop hypertension.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Why don't we DASH? Flexitarian?
I love the flexitarian diet. So this is actually the flexible vegetarian. So what they've discovered is... it's all about... So vegetarianism has got there's a whole range of it. And anyway, so with this one, we know that vegetarians have a low incidence of diabetes and a low incidence of heart disease. So, of course, why not be a little bit of a flexible vegetarian where you can have 3 to 5 times a week pretty much a palm-sized portion of protein. So that's what you're looking at with the flexitarian diet. So, yeah, it's once a day. You can have anything from the prawns or the eggs or like a chop, but it's got to be a small serving. But primarily it's 70% of a plant-based diet.
Sure. Right. All right, Sarah, just before you go, we wanted to touch on the health apps, especially the rise of the so-called fem-tech apps. Good or bad?
Oh, look, fem-tech, they're interesting. We've got apps for menstrual cycles, for infertility, fertility. We've also got for Kegel exercises after having babies. And there's interesting apps as well, which you can get for if you want to get the pill, contraception on an app. I think it's a little bit divided. I think the jury's out on this one. There's some apps which are very simple and they're great, but the questions I have as a nutritionist and as someone who needs an association and a provider number to actually give health advice. My questions are, first of all, confidentiality of medical records with these apps. My other question would be, if I was using this app, was who put it together? What are their qualifications? There's really no governing body over an app. Anyone can put an app together. So I would want to know that person's qualifications. And apps can generally be very much one size fits all, and we aren't one size fits all.
Yeah, all right, Sarah.
Well,
thank you very much.
Take into the Mediterranean diet this morning, and we'll drink to that.
Have some fish. It's been out overnight. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, it's time to get some pop news now with Sal, now famous rock star, has fallen off the